Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. And one last thing, don't forget to be awesome. Yeah, man. Sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching The Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about WWE WrestleMania 38 Night 1. So, yeah, man, bro. This was a great show, man. This is a really great show, man. Becky, Bianca, really great match, dude. Really enjoyed it. You know, despite the sloppiness, we did have some sloppiness in the match, but overall, man, it was a really great match. Really great match with Bianca Belair becoming a Raw Women's Champion, the new Raw Women's Champion. And yeah, man. And also, man, Steve Austin and Kevin Owens in the main event. I thought that was really fun. Seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the ring after 19 years, man, was really fun. And yeah, he wasn't in his signature trunks. He was in his jorts. It was really fun, man. It was a really fun match in the main event. Seeing Steve Austin back in the ring. You know, there were parts when he took bumps. You know, when he took that bump outside the ring in the crowd, I was legit scared for him, man, because it looked like he landed it right on his head off of that suplex, man. But yeah, man, it was fun, man. Enjoy WrestleMania Night 1. But the thing that I enjoyed the most, bro, the match that I enjoyed the most on Night 1 was Seth Rollins versus a returning Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes is back in WWE, and yeah, man, this is the best match on the show, in my opinion, the best match on the show. And yeah, man, hopefully they treat Cody the right way, man. I'm hoping that they do. It's WWE we're talking about. I don't think they will, but maybe. I wanna have hope that they do treat him well. To be honest, I don't think they will. But yeah, man. But Cody Rhodes is back in WWE, and he came back at WrestleMania. So yeah, man. So that was really fun, man. But Night 1, man, I really like Night 1. It felt like it was important. Like we didn't have too many filler matches. We didn't have too many filler matches. Like every match was important. You know, almost every single match on this show was a championship match. And yeah, but Night 2, we have a lot of filler matches. Omos and Bobby Lashley, Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. Those are filler matches, dude. But yeah, man, we will be seeing a lot of filler matches on Night 2. But Night 1 was the best. It was the best, dude. It was the best. And the main thing that people will be talking about is Cody Rhodes and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Cody Rhodes and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's the bigger things that people will be talking about. But yeah, man. But yeah, I really enjoyed this show, man. Really enjoyed WrestleMania Night 1. But yeah, man, this is the WrestleMania 38 Night 1 review on the Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man, I say this all the time, man. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. And subscribe to the channel if you're new around here because I'm here each and every single week, man. And so yeah, man. So tonight for WrestleMania 38 Night 1, we were live in Dallas, Texas in the AT&T Stadium. And so yeah, man. So our first match of the night was for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And so yeah, so we had Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus the Usos, representing the Bloodline. The Usos, who are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay Uso. We had a hot tag to Boogs. He had took out the Usos. We had a vertical delayed suplex to Jay from Boogs, and Jay had kicked out. And so yeah, so Boogs. So this was unfortunate, man. This was terrible, man. So yeah, so Boogs, he went to go pick up Jimmy and Jay Uso at the same time, but his leg had gave out on him. His leg had gave out on him, and we found out. Unfortunately, we had found out that Boogs was indeed injured. He was legit injured. He torn his quad patella, and he will be out. And yeah, he needs surgery too. He needs surgery, so he'll be out. So yeah, quad injuries, man, you'll be out for a very long time. Triple H, he had a quad injury. So yeah, he's gonna be out for a very long time. It seems like. But yeah, man, it is sad, man. I like Rick Boogs. I like Rick Boogs, man. But yeah, it is, dude. It sucks that he had to. It sucks that he got injured, and it sucks that he had to sit out. But yeah, man. So we had a snap German suplex to Jay from Nakamura, and then the super kick to Nakamura from Jay. And so yeah, and we had a Uso splash to Shinsuke from Jimmy, and he kicked out. And so to end the match, man, we had the Usos. They hit their finishing move, or their other tag team finishing move, the 1D. So they paying homage to the Dudleys, to Nakamura to win the match. So therefore, the Usos wins the match and are still the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And yeah, this is a much needed win for the Usos because it seems like with WWE, every time there's a tag team championship match at a pay-per-view, like on either on SmackDown or on Raw, they always have like each member going up against each other before the pay-per-view. One tag team partner wins the match and the other tag team partner loses the match in like singles competition. But yeah, man, that sucks, man. It really do. But yeah, it was a much needed win for the Usos because, Nakamura and Boogs always, it felt like they always got the upper hand on the Usos. But yeah, man. But that was it with that, man. And so right after that, we had Happy Corbin with Madcap Moss, who is the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown versus Drew McIntyre. So yeah, so at one point, Madcap Moss, he gotten too excited, and he got on a ring apron. He was cheering on Corbin, and so he was in Corbin's way, and so Corbin told him to get down. And so McIntyre, he started to fight back. He had a spine buster to Corbin, and then he tried to go for the Claymore kick, but Corbin, he had caught him with a deep six. I love the deep six, dude. I love it. And so yeah, so McIntyre, he had a flying clothesline of Corbin, and so McIntyre, he tried to go for the Claymore kick again, but Moss, he had dragged Corbin out of the ring. And so we had a tope con hero to Corbin and Moss from McIntyre. So that was really impressive, dude. A guy his size, man, McIntyre size, should not be doing that, man. But yeah, both of these guys, they were reversing each other's signature moves and all that stuff. And so yeah, man. So Baron Corbin hit his finishing move, the End of Days, to McIntyre, and McIntyre kicked out of the End of Days. And so this is the first time ever that anybody in the WWE ever kicked out of the End of Days. And I was like, why did they spoil it? Why did they have to do that, man? I was like, why did they have to do that? Why did they didn't just save it for like a championship match or something like that? But yeah, man. But yeah, at least it wasn't anybody kicking out of the finishing move. At least it was somebody like Drew McIntyre. But yeah, man. I would have done it in like if it was a championship match. That's what I would have done. McIntyre, he hit the Future Shock DDT to Corbin. And so to end the match, man, Drew McIntyre, he hit the Claymore kick to Corbin to win the match. So therefore, Drew McIntyre wins the match. And so right after the match, Madcap Moss, he got on a ring apron. So yeah, he tried to attack Drew McIntyre. And so Drew McIntyre, he grabbed Angela the sword and he pointed it at Moss. And so yeah, he pointed it at Moss. And then McIntyre, he had cut the first and second rope with the sword. And so I was like, how is that even possible, man? Because most ring ropes, they are made of cable. They are made of cable. WWE, I don't know what their ropes are made of, but most wrestling ropes are made of cable. But yeah, hopefully the feud is over, man. Hopefully the feud is over because I do not want to see any more of this, man. I really don't. And plus, McIntyre, he already beat Corbin. He already beat Madcap Moss, and then he beat Corbin. And plus, he got his sword back. He got his sword back because Corbin and Moss, they took the sword away from McIntyre. So yeah, so hopefully this feud is over because he beating them both. So yeah, man. But yep, that was it with that, man. And so right after that, we had Rey and Dominik Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul. So this is good, man. This is actually good. So yeah, I did love both of these guys, both of these teams' ring gears, man. Rey Mysterio and Dominik, they're paying homage to Eddie Guerrero, with the ring gear that he used to wear in WCW. And so yeah, man, and Miz and Logan Paul, they were wearing black and yellow. So I guess they were paying homage to the Kill Bill movie. So yeah, so Dominik, he had a tornado to the Miz. And so Logan, he had a power slam. So he had a power slam to Dominik. It was a nice looking power slam too. Actually, the power slam is a move that I learned too, man, in wrestling practice. But yeah, man, but that power slam looked nice. But yeah, man, so the Miz and Logan, they double teamed Dominik. And then Logan, he had hit a blockbuster to Dominik and he kicked out. And we had a hot tag to Rey. He took out the Miz. So Rey Mysterio, he had a tornado DDT to the Miz and he kicked out. And so Rey Mysterio, he went for the three amigos to the Miz, but he didn't get the third one. He only got the second one. But Logan Paul, he got in the ring. He ended up hitting the three amigos to Rey. And those suplexes, man, were picture perfect, man, from Logan. Man, it was really nice, man. He didn't do it like Eddie. Eddie used to roll through him like really quickly, but he rolled through him. He rolled, but yeah, those suplexes, those were more like standing suplexes than an actual suplex. But yeah, man. But he hit the three amigos and he kicked up after that. Logan, he tried to go for the frog splash, and he did hit the frog splash. He did Eddie's theatrics. He did his theatrics, and so he ended up hitting the frog splash, which was also nice, man. A nice looking frog splash, and Rey had kicked out. And so we had a double 619 to Logan from the Mysterios, and then a double frog splash to Logan. Miz had broke up the pin. And so to end the match, man, we had the Miz had hit his finishing move, the skull crushing finale, to Rey Mysterio to win the match. So therefore, the Miz and Logan Paul wins the match. And so yeah, man. So right after the match, man, the Miz and Logan, they were celebrating, and so Miz had gave Logan Paul a skull crushing finale, and so the crowd had cheered. Like, dude, it was funny though. It was funny, man. Like when they were celebrating, they were holding each other's hands up. Miz, he just looked over to Logan. Logan wasn't even paying attention. He just looked over to Logan with that look on his face. He was looking like this, and just gave him a skull crushing finale. And yeah, the crowd had cheered. I don't know if he turned babyface or he just continued to stay as a heel, but it looked like he did turn babyface because not a lot of people like Logan Paul. Logan Paul, man, he looked really good in this match. He really did, bro. The moves, the execution of the moves, man, were really great. Were really great, bro. That frog splash, those suplexes, man. The leapfrogs that he did in the ring earlier. Man, he looked really good, man. And his ring gear was really nice too. But yeah, but the only thing that I had a problem with was his selling when he no sold the skull crushing finale. He should have been knocked out. He should have been knocked out from that skull crushing finale. But yeah, man, that's my only gripe I have to say about it. His selling. You got to work on his selling. But yeah, that was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it with that. Really, really good match, man. Really good match. But yeah, man. But yeah, that was it with that, man. And so right after that, we had Stephanie McMahon. She came out to the ring and she introduced Gable Steveson. And so yeah, so Gable Steveson is making his way to the main roster. But yeah, he did get drafted though. He did get drafted on Raw. When we had the draft like months and months and months ago, he got drafted to Raw. But yeah, man, that was it with that, man. And so right after that, we had the Raw Women's Championship match, and it was Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch, who is the Raw Women's Champion. So yeah, so Becky, she was driven out to the ring, and so Becky, she have shorter hair because of what Bianca Belair had did to her on Monday Night Raw by trimming her hair with some scissors. And so Becky, she had to get the rest of her hair trimmed. And so yeah, man. So Becky, man, she had that witch type look. She had all black, with it looked like she had the skirt on too. She was wearing all black. She had some face paint too, like some orange face paint, but she had the orange hair. She would have looked like a witch if her hair was black. But yeah, Bianca Belair, I love Bianca Belair's entrance. Her WrestleMania entrance is really great. I loved it. Bianca, she was played out to the ring by a marching band from Texas, from Dallas, Texas, and they were playing Bianca's Belair theme song. And Bianca Belair, her gear, man, her gear is really nice. And Bianca, like she makes her own gear. She makes her own gear, and she always had the best gear in the women's division. In the women's division, she has the best gear. Her and Sasha have the best gear. But yeah, Bianca, she makes her own gear. And that's a skill set that every professional wrestler should have. I should have a skill set like that. I should be able to make my own ring gear. Because ring gears, man, they are really expensive. They are really expensive. But Bianca, she tried to shake Becky Lynch's hand. Why? I don't know. But she tried to shake her hand. So yeah, so both of these ladies, they were reversing each other's finishing moves. And so yeah, man. So Becky, she had her finishing move, the manhandle slam to Bianca, and she barely kicked out, man. And so Becky, she had missed the moonsault. It looked like she was gonna miss it anyway because she undershot it. And so yeah, man. So Bianca, she had locked in disarm her to Becky Lynch. So she locked in Becky Lynch's finishing move on her. And so Becky had put her foot on the rope. And so yeah, we almost had a botch. We almost had a botch, but they recovered it. They were able to recover from it. So yeah, so Becky had gave the Beck Exploder suplex to Bianca. So Becky had went right after Bianca's injured throat. And so yeah, so we had a diving, draping leg drop to Bianca and she kicked out. And we had a standing suplex to Becky on the floor. And then Bianca had hit a handstand moonsault to Becky and she kicked out. And then Bianca, she had dropped Becky on the top rope, ribs first. And then yeah, man, and Bianca, she had a 450 splash to Becky from the second rope. And Becky had kicked out. If she would have went to the top rope, she probably would have had her then. We had a top rope, like a top. She like Becky tried to go for a top rope senton. You know the move that Molly Holly hit. I think she was trying to go for a move like that, but Becky, she ended up kicking Bianca in the face. Her foot had caught Bianca in the face, and so yeah, man. And so Bianca had gave a KOD to Becky over the top rope, and then we had Becky. She had the manhandle slam to Bianca on the steel steps, and Bianca, she had made it back into the ring at 9. And so yeah, so both of these ladies, they're going back and forth, trying to reverse each other's finishing moves and all that stuff. And so to end the match, man, Bianca Belair, she had a finishing move, the KOD, to Becky Lynch to win the match. So therefore, Bianca Belair wins the match and is the new Raw Women's Champion. And so yeah, that was it, man. That was it with that, man. Really good match. And right after that, man, right after that match, I was like, man, how is Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey is gonna follow that match? How are they gonna follow that match? But yeah, man, this is really great. The back and forth was really great too. Despite the sloppiness, there wasn't too much sloppiness, but we did have some sloppiness in the match. Despite that, this is a great match, man. This is a really good match. But yeah, man, the question is like, what's next for Bianca? Now that she's the Raw Women's Champion, what's next for her? I don't know, man. Becky might want a rematch. She's gonna cry for a rematch. And so yeah, man. So right after that, we had Seth freaking Rollins versus a mystery opponent, and that mystery opponent was none other than the American Nightmare himself, Cody Rhodes. So yeah, man. Cody Rhodes, man. It was Cody Rhodes. So yeah. So first off, man, we had Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins. We had a choir for Seth Rollins singing his theme song. So I thought that was beautiful, man. The singing was beautiful. And so yeah, and so when Cody had came out, the crowd, the lights had shut off and all that stuff. We had the pyro going off, and so we had, Cody Rhodes' theme song from AEW was playing, the Downstate, Kingdom by Downstate. It was playing, and so the crowd was going crazy. I knew it was Cody Rhodes. But yeah, crowd was going crazy, bro. And so yeah, so both of these guys, they were going back and forth, and then they were reversing each other's finishing moves at that point. And so at one point, both of these guys, they suplexed each other over the top rope, and they both landed on the floor. And then Seth had caught Cody with a drop kick in midair. And then Rollins, you know, Rollins had told Cody, "Welcome back to the big leagues," and all that stuff. And so we had a snap power slam to Rollins, and then a tope suicida to Rollins, and then Rollins, he had flew over the commentary table, and we had a moonsault to Rollins. He did not get all of that, but he had a moonsault to Rollins, and then we had a power bomb to Cody into the barricade, and yeah, we had a diving knee. We had a diving knee to Cody Rhodes, followed up by a super kick, and then we had a Falcon Arrow to Cody, and he kicked out. And so both of these guys were reversing each other's finishing moves once again. And then Cody Rhodes had hit the crossroads, his finishing move, the crossroads to Rollins, and he kicked out. And I was like, what? What? And then we had a reverse superplex to Cody and a reverse DDT, a reverse lifted DDT to Cody, and he kicked out. And then a tiger driver to Rollins. And then Cody, I hit the Cody cutter to Rollins, and he kicked out. And at that point, I thought that was it. I thought that was it because, Rollins, he kicked out of the crossroads. So I thought that was it. Rollins had hit the pedigree to Cody, and he kicked out. And I was like, thank God that he did kicked out. It would have been terrible if he would have lost to the pedigree, because he had problems with Triple H. A match that I wish we would have saw, man. A match that I wish we would have saw, but unfortunately we can't get that match. So yeah, so both these guys, they were going back and forth with strikes, and then we had kicks and strikes to Cody Rhodes, and then Cody, he hit the crossroads twice to Rollins. Cody Rhodes, he had hit the jabs. He started to hit Rollins with jabs, and he followed up with the bionic elbow. So he paid homage to his dad, the late great Dusty Rhodes. And so to end the match, man, Cody Rhodes, he had he had the third crossroads to Rollins to win the match. So therefore, Cody Rhodes wins the match. And that was it, man. This is a great match. I hope they take care of Cody, man. I really do. I hope they take care of Cody Rhodes. Please do not mess him up. Please do not mess him up. And, the better question is, what show is he going to be a part of? Is he going to be a part of Raw or SmackDown? That's the better question. What show will he be a part of? If I had to guess, he'll probably be on Monday Night Raw. He'll probably be on Monday Night Raw. If I had to guess, because SmackDown, we got Roman Reigns. We got Roman Reigns on SmackDown. So, yeah, if you're gonna push Cody Rhodes, man, push him after the World Championship. That's the way I'll go with it. We kind of knew that he was gonna come to WWE. Well, at first, when he first left, I was like, man, there is no way he's coming back to the WWE. There's no way he's coming back. And I was like, why should he come back? Why should he come back? That's what I was thinking. But yeah, he did win his match. He did win his match. That's the step towards the right direction. But how long would it go? How long would the push go? Because you know how WWE is. When people go somewhere else and they come back to the company, they get pushed, and then right after that, they don't get pushed anymore. So, yeah, man, I hope they do him right, man. I hope they do him right. Will they? Maybe for like the first couple of months, and then they're gonna get rid of it. They're gonna stop pushing them. That's what I think is gonna happen. But yeah, I can't. Right now I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what's next for him. The possible feuds that he could have on Raw, either whether he's on Raw or SmackDown. But if you're gonna push him, you gotta push him to the top. You gotta push him after a World Championship because you can't do what he used to. You can't do what he used to do when he was there. You can't send him after the IC Championship because he already won that championship. You can't push him after no secondary titles. You gotta push him to the main event. You gotta push him after the World Championship. But yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with that, man. That was it. And yeah, hopefully they do right with Cody Rhodes. Please do not. You don't have to do anything, man. You don't have to change him. Just let Cody Rhodes be Cody Rhodes, man. Just let him be Cody Rhodes. But yeah, if he came to the WWE, there's a reason why he came to WWE. There's a reason why he came to WWE. It probably was for the money. It probably was for the money. It probably was for the money. Because he felt in AEW he should have been paid more. And so, I don't know. Maybe it was for the money. But yeah, man. But yeah, hopefully they do right with Cody Rhodes. I will be watching Monday Night Raw to see if Cody Rhodes show up. He might show up on Raw. He might. Man, that was it with that, man. And so right after that, we had the announcement for the attendance for WrestleMania Night 1. So the attendance was 77,899 fans. So that was announced. Don't know how accurate that is, but I'm going to go with it. But yeah, so right after that, we had the SmackDown Women's Championship match. It was Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair, who was the SmackDown Women's Champion. Yeah, they were both going back and forth. Charlotte took control, and then Ronda, she fought back. Charlotte had speared Ronda, and she kicked out. And so, yeah, this spot right here was terrible, man. Charlotte, she had hit her moonsault, her terrible-looking moonsault, and she did not connect at all. She did not connect at all, man. Man, if you're gonna do a moonsault, you have to connect with the moonsault. if you go in with any move, you gotta commit to the move. You can't hesitate because if you hesitate, it's gonna look bad. And this looked bad. She needs to stop doing the moonsault. If you're not gonna connect with the moonsault, you gotta stop doing it. Do something else. Now I did like it when she did the Spanish Fly. When she did the Spanish Fly off of the top rope, I did like that move. She needs to start doing that. She need to do that. But yeah, man, she need to stop doing that moonsault, man. It is freaking terrible, man. Every single time I see it, I'm like, ugh. So Ronda, she had a top rope arm drag to Charlotte, and then Ronda had hit the Piper's Pit to Flair, and then Rousey, she tried to go for the arm bar, but Flair had fought out of it, and we had a big boot to Ronda, and then Ronda, she had locked in the ankle lock to Flair, and so Charlotte, she had reversed it and locked the ankle lock on Ronda Rousey, and so yeah, and then Ronda, she fought out of it, and she locked in the ankle lock on Charlotte, and then Charlotte had fought out of it, and so yeah, and so Charlotte, she had locked in the figure eight to Ronda, and then Ronda, she had turned it over, so the pressure was on Flair, and then Flair had hit an exploder suplex to Ronda into the barricade, and so both Charlotte and Ronda had made it back into the ring at 9, and so yeah, man, so Ronda had hit the Piper's Pit to Flair, and when she went for the cover, Flair foot was already on the rope, and so but the referee hand had hit the mat for a 3. And so when he saw Charlotte Flair foot on the rope, he called it off. Like he called it off right after his hand hit the 3. And so yeah, so Charlotte had hit the natural selection to Ronda, and she kicked out. And then yeah, and so at one point, Ronda, she had kicked Charlotte into the referee, and so Charlotte had speared the referee in the process. So she kicked Charlotte Flair into the referee and speared him. So yeah, that was funny. That spot was funny. Like you kick Charlotte Flair into the referee, spearing him in the process. Yeah, that was crazy. And so yeah, this spot right here was stupid. This was stupid right here. This spot right here was stupid. So yeah, man. So Ronda, she had locked in the armbar to Flair, and referee was knocked out, of course. So yeah, she locked in the armbar on Flair. Flair tapped out, but the referee was knocked out, just like what I said before. And so instead of keeping on the submission hold and waiting for the referee to wake up, she let go of the hold and woke up the referee. She woke up the referee, and Charlotte Flair got back up and gave her a big boot to win the match. And that was it. That was it. 1, 2, 3. That was it. I was like, wait, what? I was like, what? And so yeah, so Charlotte Flair wins the match and is still the SmackDown Women's Champion. Really stupid spot. Like, dude, how? You were so obsessed. You were so obsessed of breaking our arm or ripping our arm off. You were so obsessed with ripping our arm off and making her tap out. Instead of waiting for the referee to get back up, you just let go of the hold, go over to the referee, wake him up, and she gets back up and give you a big boot. If I was Ronda Rousey, I would have broke her arm. I would have broken her arm, and then wake the referee up, and then lock it on again. That's what I would do. Yeah, that was lackluster, man. This was lackluster. This was bad, man. This is really bad. They did not follow. They were not able to follow the Bianca and Becky Lynch match. I'm glad this match wasn't the main event. I'm glad this was not the main event of night 1 because there were plans. There were plans on putting this match on night 1 as the main event, and I'm glad that they did not. I'm glad they did not go that way because if it was the main event of night 1, bro, this would have been the worst main event. And so right after that, we had the KO show. So we had the KO show, and Owens, he was booed, and rightfully so, because he was talking all that smack about Texas. Texas is great, man. I've been to Texas, man. Been to Houston, Galveston. Texas is the best. There are a lot of opportunities in Texas. Kevin Owens, he was continuing to talk smack about Texas, and yeah, called out Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm gonna call him out right now, just to tell him that he sucks to his face and all that stuff. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin came out and they were talking. They were going back and forth. Owens, Steve Austin, he was insulting Kevin Owens the entire time. And so Owens, he had challenged Steve Austin to a no holds barred match. And so Stone Cold Steve Austin, he accepted it. And so the main event, it was the no holds barred match. So Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens. So this is Stone Cold Steve Austin's first match back after 19 years. Dude, that is a long time to be out of the ring. 19 years, bro. God. Austin, he started to stump onto Owens. And so Austin, the entire time, he kept drinking his beer. And he stomped on Owens. And then they were both fighting outside the ring. Owens, he had threw Austin into the ring post. And then Austin, he had threw Owens into he threw him through a table that was set out outside the ring. And so both of these guys, they were fighting in the crowd. And so, yeah, this move, as I said earlier, the suplex on the floor, that spot worried me a lot, man. Yeah, so this spot right here that I'm talking about, Kevin Owens, he had gave Stone Cold Steve Austin a suplex on the floor, on a concrete floor in the crowd. And so, yeah, that spot, Steve Austin, he was grabbing at his head, and so I was like, no, please no. I hope he did not hurt himself or get concussed. And so, yeah, because, yeah, that is the concrete floor, man. And so, yeah, so Austin, he started to fight back. And Austin, yeah, got some more beer, and he started drinking it, and he spit the beer in KO's face. And so KO, he tried to leave. He tried to leave the match. He tried to get on Austin's four-wheeler or ATV, whatever you want to call it. I call it a four-wheeler. I grew up riding four-wheelers and driving four-wheelers, so I call it a four-wheeler. So he tried to leave in a four-wheeler. Steve Austin had stopped him. And so Austin, he drove KO up the stage with the four-wheeler. Austin, he had suplex Owens on the stage twice. Like on one side of the stage, he did it, and then on the other side of the stage, he did it again. And so Austin, once again, he drinking more beer. It almost ended up costing him because KO had hit Austin with a stunner, and Austin had kicked out. And so, yeah, so Owens, he had grabbed the chair at one point. He tried to hit Austin with the chair, but Austin had moved out of the way. And, KO ended up hitting the ropes with the chair, and the chair had bounced off of the rope and caught him in the face with it. So, yeah, man. Yeah, that was funny, man. That was really funny. And so, yeah, so to end the match, we had Stone Cold Steve Austin hit the stunner, his finishing move, the stunner, to Kevin Owens to win the match. So, therefore, Stone Cold Steve Austin wins the match. And so, yeah, so right after the match, Austin, once again, he's drinking beer. And so KO got back up, and Austin had stunned KO again. And so, yeah, so KO, he was escorted by the Texas police officers. They look nothing like police officers, man. They were wearing the cowboy hats. But yeah, so Austin, he was celebrating in the ring. Steve Austin had called Byron Saxton into the ring. And so, yeah, so Austin and Saxton, they were drinking the beer together. And so, Austin had gave Saxton a stunner. But this time, Austin, he did not kick Saxton in the balls. he kicked him in the gut this time. But yeah, Saxton, man, Byron Saxton, he sold that stunner, man. He sold it nicely. And so, yeah, and so Austin, he had invited his brother into the ring. And so Austin, he started drinking the beer with his brother. And so that was it, man. This was fun, man. This is really fun. But yeah, that was it with WrestleMania, man. Overall, WrestleMania Night 1, I should say. WrestleMania 38 Night 1. And overall, man, this is a really great show, man. Really great show. And just like what I said before, this wasn't this match or this show. We didn't see too many filler matches. We didn't see too many filler matches. That's the one thing I did like about it. The matches were important. Most of these matches on this show were championship matches. And yeah, man. And night 2, I'm looking forward to AJ Styles and Edge for night 2 and Roman versus Brock. But everything else, man, I'm not looking forward to it on night 2. So if I had to make a prediction, man, night 1 will probably be the best. Night 1 will probably be the best WrestleMania night. But yeah, Steve Austin, KO, main eventing. Really fun stuff. Seth versus Cody was really fun. Was the best match. Was my favorite match personally. And that was it, man. Bianca versus Becky. They killed it. Becky and Bianca had a better match than Ronda, Rousey, and Charlotte Flair. That was it with WrestleMania 38, Night 1, the review on the Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new around here or if you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell to be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I'm here each and every single week, man. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys on Sunday for WrestleMania Night 2. WrestleMania 38 Night 2. And once again, guys, thank you for the love and the support for the show. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. And I'll see you guys on Sunday for WrestleMania 38 Night 2. And if you miss anything, man, if you miss anything, everything is on the homepage. So make sure you check it out if you missed anything. And yeah, man, thank you guys once again for the love and support for the show, man. And yeah, man, and this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.